Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Cindy Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff. And yay, it's still Trans Pride for one more week.
Trans Pride!
Woo! Really slay to have 5 Tuesdays in June this year.
It's
That's
so
pretty.
The
It's
universe
finally
is an
something.
ally.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Finally something not homophobic happening. Pretty cool, actually.
No, I feel like actually we've had a really fun Pride lineup this year because I feel like in doing Trans Pride specifically, we really were trying to avoid it being like trans person gets killed in movie.
Yeah.
So we ended up with like sure some trans people did get killed in movie.
Yeah,
but
well,
that
a trans
wasn't, like,
person died
plot
last
of
week,
movie.
or 2 weeks ago. When did we do Evil Dead Rise?
when
R.I.P.
trans people are just people in the movies, that's fine. That's
It doesn't
allowed.
count.
But sometimes we've talked about it before with our Pride lineups. If we do a specifically queer horror movie, you can sometimes fall into that trap of like,
Kill your
and
gays.
this week all the gays are dying and getting killed, and
All
horrible
the
things are
gays are
happening to
bad.
them.
That's the shit
So I
about
feel like-
gay horror. It's
Yes,
still
it's
a horror
been-
movie.
Mhm. It's been a fun lineup this year, though, I really think. And I think it's really fun to cap it off with a fifth Tuesday, especially because it feels like bookends to me. This movie and Queens of the Dead, which we started with, I do feel like they're like so influential on each other. You know what I
Totally.
mean? But if you don't know what we're doing this week, let me tell you. We are covering a movie with a crazy Spooky Tuesday hearted title. It is called To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. It came out in 1995, and the IMDb logline reads, 3 drag queens travel cross country until their car breaks down, leaving them stranded in a small town. Concise, short, little. And those 3 drag queens, Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo. Incredible.
I just thank you, Chelsea, for having us do this movie because my life has been changed. I had never seen it before 1 hour ago, and I've been crying a lot. I'm really exhausted because I cried so much because this is like probably one of like sorry, spoiler alert for the end of the episode. It's like probably one of my favorite movies ever now. Like
Yeah.
wow. What a gift. I'm so glad that we're bestowing the gift upon all of you listeners too, because we're forcing you to watch this movie. Because you should, and it's a delight. And wow, holy shit. Wow,
Yeah, I'm
holy
upset
shit.
that I also had never seen it until now.
Yeah, God, but it's okay, like your life the
Good
rest of
things
your life
come to
starts
those
today.
who wait, you know?
You know?
Sometimes
Exactly.
you meet it at the time when you're ready for it.
It's never too late to change your whole life and have it be way better for going forward because we now
Meanwhile,
have
Yeah.
this in it.
if I ever have a child, they'll be watching this so early. This will
Oh,
be
Yeah,
family friendly.
yeah.
Oh, baby.
This
I'm
is the
We're all
naming
gonna be
my
dressing
child
up,
Chi
like-
Chi. So
Friday night family dinner pizza, like movie nights,
Mhm.
are gonna go so crazy in my household.
Well, okay,
agree. I
honestly
think
though, I
so.
think this is a good movie for a child to watch. I feel like it
Yes.
has good morals and like great
Mhm.
lessons. So it would be a great
And
movie
there's
for a kid to
nothing
see.
like crazy raunchy about it. Like it's very well done.
It's
That's
perfect.
what is
Comes with a
so
whole family.
interesting. It's so interesting to me, this movie, and the way it came out, the way it was received, blah, blah, blah. I was doing a lot of research on this last night because I watched this a couple of years ago. I was like dog sitting, staying at my brother's house or something for a weekend, was just like not doing anything because I was at home with the dog. And so I was like, I'm just going to marathon a bunch of like older queer movies. I did this one, The Birdcage, Priscilla,
Love
Queen
the
of the
Birdcage.
Desert, which is very similar to this movie. There's a lot of comparisons there because that's also a drag queen's traveling
Queen going
cross
on a
country.
road
Their bus
trip.
breaks down.
Yeah.
But they're in Australia. And one of them is actually a transgender woman, like textually in that movie.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'd like to revisit
We gotta
that
do
one
that
at some
soon.
point and
Yeah.
see how I feel about it. Because I watched that one after this one, and I loved this one so much, and I was tired by the time I got to that one that I think my heart wasn't as open.
Yeah.
But I did all those fried green tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes, one of my faves.
Of course, yeah,
Still haven't seen that
fantastic.
either.
This one just like really touches my heart. It is not a perfect movie, but it is so. The only thing I knew about it going in was that it was like a queer cult classic,
Mhm.
and it really has reached cult classic stage. But researching the way it was received when it came out, it was, you might be like, oh my God, so progressive for 1995. Actually, a lot of the response in 1995 is like, they're really playing it safe in this movie. They're really like reining it in many ways in this movie because it was
Wow.
like a reaction to the 80s, and how oppressive in many ways the 80s was for queer people, and so it like
Oh, yeah.
wanted to be a
AIDS crisis.
celebration, but also, I mean, if you ask me, I'll dive into it right now. This movie, super super trans. Those three drag queens, those are transgender women. The movie did not
Uh-huh.
necessarily know that. I think Chi knows in the movie.
I agree.
I don't know. The writer kind of was like, "Oh, I didn't have that in mind necessarily." And I saw some of it was like, there were planned scenes originally where we were going to see the characters out of
No,
drag,
out of drag.
and like learn their
Backstories more.
their backstories, the names that they were given at birth. I don't want to necessarily say dead names because I don't know that all of them would think of it that way.
Yeah.
Well, we only know Patrick Swayze,
Right.
Yeah.
Because he literally says it. So
Yeah.
But we were going to get a lot more, or at least some of that, and then they decided to cut it because they felt like it's like stopped the audience from being able to as cleanly connect with them when they are in drag. It's like now we're seeing them as like two different characters instead of like one
Mhm.
character in a movie. So they just cut it. But what that means is that they're presenting as women the entire time that we see them.
Yeah,
Other than
so
when they're getting dressed up, maybe. But even then, it's like maybe she's just
Well,
at home with no makeup and her hair isn't done.
They're
Right.
just
Maybe she just
literally
got out of the shower. That's
Well,
it.
I mean, Wesley Snipes is like in like little pajamas, Nugzimas, in like the little pajamas at night, you know, like I mean,
Mhm.
I guess they're in the small town at that point. And so they like they would have needed to stay in drag because like the idea is that they are like want everyone to just think they're women, so
But
they
also,
don't have to
too,
deal with anything.
like, but if they're driving across country and they know they're gonna be in Middle America, like they
Yeah.
didn't have to go to LA in full drag. They could have just been men.
Exactly.
Three beautiful trans women.
If they
having a road
really
trip.
are all three men who love to do drag as a fun hobby and performance, then they would be like, I am a man and I identify as a man, and the safest way for the three of us to travel across the country is as men. But they don't do that because they don't want to present that way. That's not how they see themselves. They're like, I am Naxima, I am Vita. Chi especially, the second that you even suggest that she is not a woman and that she is not a beautiful princess and that she is not like in her spirit exactly who she says she is, she's like, I will get out of this car and you can leave me behind and I don't give one fuck because
Yeah.
I will not be with you for 1 second longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was like some of the criticism when this movie came out is like they so go out of their way to be like, we're not trans, by the way, we're just drag queens. We're
But
just
they're
drag
not.
queens, and we're actually just fairy godmothers for people, for the middle America people, and then we'll be on our way. But
Yeah, it does kind of do like the magic gay person kind of thing, you know.
And I think there is space for there to be criticism of this movie and space for celebrating the exact things that we're critiquing, because it can be both. Because the writer Douglas Carter Bean, he was a playwright living in New York. He was working as a nanny or a babysitter or something, and it was like the family he babysat for was gone for 2 weeks, and whenever that happened, he would just like sit down and write a play. And that's what he did here, and it was inspired by a PSA he had seen from
Oh yeah, I
from
saw
the
that.
80s called The Gay Agenda, about like, oh, drag queens are gonna come to your small town and take over. And he's like,
The
oh my
dream.
God, yeah, that sounds great. That
That's
sounds
exactly
actually
what
like
I
it
want,
would be really
actually.
fun. Maybe
The
that would be
tagline was like, these types of people can really like change society. And
you
like
don't want that, right? And it's like, well,
that's like the whole like thing of the whole movie is that these like three gay people show up and fix the whole town.
what if some systems need to be challenged? Is that
Yeah.
so the end of the world 100% of the time? What if forward progress can be good? I know it's outrageous idea, but
What if?
Truly, truly.
what if? But yeah, so it's interesting to see people at the time were critiquing it, being like, it doesn't go far enough. When you're watching it now in 2026, it's like, I don't know that this movie could be made in the same way today, where it like this movie came out, got completely panned by critics. I'll let you know now, it has a awful critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I saw that
Um,
actually.
Yeah, it has a rotten score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. But then when it came out, it was like the idea, this movie is filmed in Nebraska. The idea was almost that it was like, you make it in Nebraska for people in Nebraska to go see it. And when regular American audiences got this movie, it did crazy well. They loved it. It was like, oh my God, it's so fun. It's so wholesome. It's so heartwarming. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. A lot of people saw themselves in it in ways that were eye-opening, even if, again, that's not what the movie necessarily thought that it was doing. I don't think it's a perfect film, but I think it is a beautiful representation of allyship. Because it's both the townspeople being allies, our drag queens coming and being allies to them in the ways that they need, and also it was like a huge fucking deal that these manly man ass, big ripped, muscly actors, masculine actors who were like the leading men of their days, were coming in willing to drag it up and not making that the butt of the joke.
No, I think that's so huge. I think that I read some stuff online where people were like, oh, like, would it have been better? And obviously, the standards are different because this was back in the 90s. Like, would it have been better to have queer actors playing these roles? And it went through like all the big queer movies that came out in the 90s and if there were actually out queer people in them and that sort of a thing. And usually I'm like, it should be a queer person playing it, especially nowadays. But I think like exactly what you said, like it's making a bigger statement to have these like the heartthrobs of the eras taken on this role, and it could have gone very easily the way you just described, where it's just like, haha, so crazy to see Patrick Swayze like this, like how silly. But actually, like, he took it really seriously and did all the research and was incredible in the role. Like they're doing the damn fucking thing. John Leguizamo was on a fucking vegetarian diet for 6 months to like slim out his body and lose some of his muscle mass so he could look more feminine. Like, they are taking their shit serious because it's an acting role like any other and they care about their craft. And so I think it was more effective in some ways having it be these straight actors. I don't know.
Well, and also too, the fact that like Patrick Swayze did an interview where he talked about how like he wanted to kind of play it as like a over exaggerated, all this kind of stuff. And he was like, every time I did that, it just like didn't feel authentic and right. And so instead of playing it as like a caricature of a drag like queen, I played her as a woman.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think John Leguizamo has said if they made this movie again, Chi 100% should be played by a Latin transgender actress. That is the way that the role should go going forward. And they're making, I think actually they already made it into a musical, the original playwright. He wrote it as a play. He was like, how do you get a car on stage for a road trip story? I guess it has to be a movie. And then as his imagination grew over the years, he was like, I can think of ways to get a car on stage. Let's do a musical. So I think it's only been in West End. I don't think it has come to America yet.
Oh, we need
but
it.
you know, if you reimagined this story now, obviously I think a lot would and should change, but for what it was and the way it came out in the 90s and the making of it then, I just think the limitations that it had still produced like a really beautiful, touching story and also hilarious. Like
So
fucking
funny.
funny.
they had
I
so many
was
actual drag queens
laughing
involved
out loud
too.
hysterically. Yeah. And like the drag, like, I don't know, like
The
expert
performances.
teacher. No, that's not what I was gonna say. Like the person who was like on set helping with
Their
everything was
consultants.
actually their consultant was actually well, when she was in the opening drag sequence. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up her name right now, but I keep clicking
Candace
all the
Cain.
wrong but yes, yeah, I was just gonna read it. Okay. Candace Cain, yeah, she is a transgender actress. So that's really cool. And so she was a drag queen in the opening, and then they ended up asking her to like stay on and like be a consultant for the rest of the film, and like worked really closely with Patrick and everybody to try to like, you know, keep that authenticity throughout, which is really cool. So, you know, there's trans people behind the scenes too and on the screen because she's in it.
Yeah, there were a lot of drag queens that were involved in this movie. I know at least one other one got a shout out. Coco
Flotilla de
Peru.
Barge.
Oh, perhaps.
No,
The one
yeah.
I was looking for was Coco Peru because she said that Patrick Swayze gave her a little makeup compact from Tiffany's for her help with the role. And then she found out he gave one to all of the drag queens who helped with the movie.
Yeah.
That's so
But there
nice.
were a whole bunch of them featured that are well known. Obviously, RuPaul is there. And then I want to
Miss
talk
Rachel Tensions.
Miss Rachel Tension.
That was so
What
fucking funny. And that fucking
a
like
hilarious
Dixie
little bit.
The Confederate flag dress was
yeah,
so
the
fucking
Confederate
funny.
flag dress. Oh my god,
It's
that
kind
was
of an incredible
so
little statement
hysterical.
for
Rachel
her to be like, I'm
Tensions.
black, I'm wearing the Confederate flag, and my name, Rachel Tension.
So fucking funny. I really like the name Flotilla de Barge though. That's really powerful to me as well. I just want to give her some shine. That's so awesome.
But yeah, also Lady Bunny, Hedda Lettuce, Lady Kateria. They had a whole bunch of people in the beginning and at the end, and it just really shows that they wanted to make something that was really for the community and working with the community. Even again, if our leading women in this movie are played by 3 men.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Okay, sorry. Pause really quickly because I'm supposed to do this at the beginning of the episode, but and at the end. We're still fundraising. Gotcha, bitch. You thought I'd forget? Fuck you. No, I'd never forget. We're still fundraising and you think, "Oh no, it's the last day." Nope. It's not. Guess what? Our fundraiser is going to keep on going. We're going to keep it going until the end of the cycle of this episode. So until next Monday, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, what date will that be? Ooh, where's the calendar?
It'll be
help me,
July 6th.
July 6th. Yeah, so we're
doing it through America's 250th birthday, baby.
Yeah.
Because we're true
Fight back
patriots.
against the tyranny of America by donating to Transgender Law Center. What's Transgender Law Center, you ask? Well, let me tell you right now, as I accidentally click a button that makes the spiel that I write disappear right at the exact moment I need to say it. And we're back. We're fine. Transgender Law Center is a trans-led organization with a variety of programs advocating for trans people to be able to freely live their lives, as who they are. One aspect of their work is their impact litigation, which focuses primarily on combating anti-trans laws and policies in the United States. So yeah, do a fucking fuck you America donation on the 4th of July. That'll feel extra good. I'm going to do that. Like, damn, that sounds like a really good way to spend the day. But yeah, we are still fundraising. Please help us continue to reach our goal. And as a reminder, all of our ad revenue and Patreon revenue in the month of June is being donated to Transgender Law Center. And also, what did we decide on? Trans Lifeline?
Trans Lifeline and the Trevor Project.
And the Trevor Project. So those are the other two that we'll be donating. We'll be splitting our proceeds amongst those three. And then also, of course, Transgender Law Center is where we're asking you to help us out. But it's still time. Listen extra. All those extra listens will help us raise more funds. And then also Patreon. If you want to join our Patreon, feel free to do that. Or as a reminder, all of our content is available for purchase on Patreon. $3 a pop, baby. Get in there. Some really good stuff. Especially from today's episode. There's a kitten reveal. Because Sydney's got a new kitten.
Reveal.
And you can't see it right now unless you go on our Patreon. So
Yeah.
All right, that's the spiel. I had to do the spiel. I'll do it again at the
Mhm.
end. But I got to do a spiel at the top. Come on. All right. So this movie. Oh, wait, here. I have a great segue back into things. I have heard this for months now. Since Heated Rivalry came out and everybody's been obsessed with Connor Story and Hudson Williams. But everybody's been so obsessed with Connor and really saying how much he looks like Patrick Swayze. And of course I saw it, like just because you can see it plain as day, just like looking at a picture of him. But I like watching this movie was so crazy. Like seeing Patrick's face move and all of that. There's just so like they look so similar. It's honestly freaky. It's like
Well,
really freaked me out. I was like, how can they look this much alike?
it's one of those like Patrick Swayze melts into his characters
For sure.
the same way that Connor does.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
like I don't look at, oh, that's Patrick Swayze, even though, know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, I
Yeah.
love Patrick Swayze, but it's very much that same like spiritual energy. And
Totally.
nobody loves Patrick Swayze more than me. I celebrate St. Patrick Swayze Day every St. Patrick's
I didn't
Day.
know that.
Yeah,
That's so
I
funny.
I have like a Patrick Swayze movie marathon, and I'm gonna have to add this to my list. I normally watch like Dirty Dancing or just, any excuse to watch Dirty Dancing, quite frankly.
Patrick Swayze, do you have a horror movie? That would be great to do for next St. Patrick Swayze Day.
Ghosts.
Oh yeah, that can count. There's ghosts in it.
That's
there you
a
go.
ghost.
Done. Fucking done. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
I googled
so
it,
good
and
at
that's the best suggestion. Google
And you know
has.
That's
he's in Donnie Darko.
Yeah,
well, we already did that.
but that's a haunting movie.
And we
so
ain't doing that shit
we're
again,
putting
okay?
Ghost,
It's too
Ghost in
heady.
March. Ghost in March.
Ghost in
Mhm.
March. Okay. All right. Something we could consider. That'd be better than, doing another Leprechaun movie for St. Patrick's Day.
Leprechaun
No, we
in the
should do-
Hood. When?
Oh,
Featuring Patrick Swayze.
woof. Woof. Double feature,
Yeah.
Ghost and that for St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, also I just want to shine on Wesley Snipes. No one's talking about Wesley Snipes enough. That's a
Maxima
sexy
Jackson, the woman that you
sexy
are.
man, and he is so fantastic in this. Oh my god, I love his character. I love his whole vibe with what's her name?
Clara.
Where did she go?
Clara.
Clara, with Miss Clara.
Who ran the movie theater that closed down.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I didn't notice that detail the first time I watched it, and then I will notice the second time, like when
When Beatrice is doing her gossip dish.
No,
Yeah.
when he is returning the photo to her, it like says the Clara up at the top, and then it like pans down and she's just sitting out in front of it, and you can see it's like an old movie theater.
Well, was
I
it
think-
her husband did the movie theater and then he died, right? And then it
No,
closed
he
down.
ran away with a film distributor.
Yeah.
and she
That's what
hasn't
it was.
spoken since.
Well, he's dead to me. Fuck him. How dare he leave Clara
Yes.
behind?
But also, I have created a headcanon that I think that maybe they had a beautiful lavender marriage that was based on a love of cinema. And not that he had a romance with the film distributor, but he had a chance to go to Hollywood and he took it and she was supportive of him. But that was her connection, was talking about cinema with him. And once she lost that, she retreated into herself until a beautiful Noxeema Jackson came to town and they were able to relate about film. And it brought her back into a thriving, beautiful, lively woman who had a new opening to reach out to those around her.
I really like that. I believe that to be true.
Yes.
That's just what my heart says. Cause I'm like, whatever Clara's sexuality is, I think she is a friend to gay men everywhere. That's just the
Yeah.
sense that I get from her.
I get that too. She was so ready to she was just ready to like embrace this lifestyle and she looks slay in all her little fits.
Yes, and it's not my culture to speak on necessarily, but I am aware of the phenomenon of gay men just absolutely memorizing and reciting like all of the Oscar winners or like the full
Yes.
filmography of an actress, stuff like that. That just really feels like this space that she's in. She's connected, she's locked in, you know?
100%. Sorry, I made a weird face because cut this out, Sydney. My dad does that. Dad gay? Question mark. Cut this out, Sydney.
Question mark?
Question?
My dad's whole
Put it in,
thing
Sydney.
is that.
Yeah, keep it
No,
in.
no. What if he listens to this episode? He'd be very upset. We don't need to do that. That's so funny.
I tried to make my mom go to the theater with me last night. She's like, no,
Oh.
it's too late. She didn't want to go. She never wants to go to the theater even at a normal time.
What the?
But then I was telling her about it today, and she's like, that sounds really good. I want to watch that. Where can I watch that? And I was like, you could go to the theater with me this weekend. But I'll put it on Peacock for her, I guess.
I wish I could have gone, but I was watching the Mexico game, which was fun.
It's at AMC this weekend if you want to go to the Burbank 8 at any point, at least through
I'm
Tuesday.
going to Catalina this weekend, so I can.
And when Monday, you'll be back, 4 o'clock, Burbank 8.
Yeah.
And on Monday, when I'm back at 4 o'clock, I have my sewing class at 4 o'clock. And then right after that, I'm speaking of gay things, I'm seeing Maddie's Secret on Monday. I'm going to see Maddie's Secret. Oh my gosh. Okay. John Early. Actually, an appropriate movie to bring up right now. I don't know a ton about it, but it's John Early's, I think, directorial debut. Let me find out right now. And basically, he plays the main character. He plays a woman. He plays Maddie in this movie, and that's all I really know about it. But apparently, it's like an incredible. He wanted like this like ingenue type character, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna be her. And apparently, it's just fantastic. A food influencer secretly struggles with bulimia as she did not know about this as she navigates online fame, close friendships, and a painful past. Yeah, written and directed by John Early, who is a hysterical comedian if you don't know him. So yeah,
I love him.
a beautiful drag moment occurring as well. On Monday night. Come join me at the AMC Burbank. This will come out after I'm already there, so you can't come. But in spirit, we're all there together and love you so much. But also like other people in this movie that I was so surprised to see. One, the Robin Williams cameo
The
as
sneak
John Jacob
cameo.
Jingleheimer
Yeah.
Schmidt. I was
love
like,
that gag.
Funny.
That shit was
That's
so
too.
funny. I was
When
laughing
people shout at
so
you,
loud.
I hate that.
I hate that. I was like, this is the stupidest joke ever. It's the best joke I've ever heard in my life. Ugh, that's so funny. He's so good. I love him in these like queer roles. And also like I read for some reason all the trivia sites about this movie were all like beautiful mind, like It's like Chelsea wrote them. Did you know this weird connection with 5 other movies? And it's not about this movie at all. It's just like a connection. It's like the total
Patrick Swayze and Beth Grant were both in Donnie Darko. Did you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how crazy that
John
Wesley Snipes,
Leguizamo
Patrick Swayze, and
is
Leguizamo were all in a movie with another Catwoman because Julie Newmar played Catwoman. You know who that Catwoman was? Halle Berry. And I was like, okay, I was like, I mean, that is a kind of an interesting one, but I was like, can you tell me a fact about the movie?
But what about,
another
like,
one
how-
was like Wesley Snipes was in a movie called Jungle Something with Halle Berry in 1991, and then later Halle Berry played Dorothy Dandridge in 1997. It was like, okay, I see what you're doing, but also a little tangential to the film.
I think a
But
gay
sure.
man who knows every single movie fact wrote that page. Like that's what
Mhm.
I'm picking up. That's the vibe I'm picking up. But yeah, I was also taken aback because I did not know Beth Grant was in this movie, who was also in Donnie Darko, as you just said, but is our friend's mom. So
I texted her today to say, yeah, I watched this movie last night. Loved
oh my
it.
God. So cute. She's so cute in it. So funny. She plays Loretta. And so good. And Stockard Channing. Stockard
Mhm.
Channing is so
I love
cute
her.
Rizzo.
in this. And Michael Vartan, who played Tommy, is like the shithead guy. He is very hot and a horrible person in this movie, but I loved his whole
He
part.
comes
What-
around.
Yeah.
He becomes respectable.
Uh-huh.
And what do we know him from?
What? Like I've seen him in everything, but I couldn't recall like right off at that moment.
The Curve with Matthew Lillard.
Yes, bitch.
Yeah.
Yes. I had the great privilege of talking about The Curve and giving it as a recommendation to many people last
Hilarious.
week. And I was like, change your life right now. Watch The Curve.
Mhm.
It's incredible. And then I was like, wait, let me walk it back. It is just like
Um,
a silly 90s horror movie, but I think it's absolutely spectacular Oscar award-winning monologue from
Mhm.
Matthew Lillard. Damn, that's so funny. God, he's so hot. He also looks so much like my Matthew McConaughey sometimes too.
That's funny. I
realize.
kept being like, Paul Walker's in this movie. I was like,
Wow,
Monica's gonna
yeah.
be so excited
No.
when she sees Paul Walker's in this movie.
That's so funny. He looks like Paul Walker and Matthew McConaughey had a love child, which is a hot thought. Just saying.
Could still
Something to
happen.
think about later.
I love the character who plays Bobby Ray.
Mhm.
Yes,
Is-
Jason London.
I love him from Dazed and Confused. He
Oh!
plays Randall Floyd, like the
Oh
main
my
hot, like
god.
star quarterback.
Oh, I
Incredible film.
loved that raw oh, and he's in The Rage, Carrie too.
Ooh,
Of
there
course.
we go.
Duh.
Duh,
Everybody
duh.
knows.
Everybody knows. Everybody's seen that movie. I honestly want to now that I know that it exists. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was like so moved by the Chi-Chi Bobby Ray romance in this movie. I was like, what? Don't let little Bobby Lee get with Bobby Ray. Fuck that shit.
What would their
Chi
kid's
Chi
name
Bobby
be?
Ray forever. Chi
She's
Chi Bobby
Roberta now,
Ray
you
for
guys.
life.
Yeah, she's grown.
Yeah, I think it is complicated
yeah.
because Chi-Chi is not going to be happy in this town long term. But
No.
Bobby Ray should be the
No.
one to leave. And I think he has big dreams, and I think he can go deface billboards all across America to make them say I love Chi-Chi. And I think he should do that. And also nobody really is given a specific age in this movie. But IMDb trivia said that Bobby Ray is 21 and Bobby Lee is 15. So I think
Oh!
maybe they should not be dating.
Don't like that.
But if you don't know that and you can kind of pretend that they're age appropriate in the movie, it is like cute
It's cute.
in the
He could be
end, and it's very
18,
sweet. Yeah.
And he
It
could be
was cute.
21.
He could be like 19 maybe, and Chi-Chi's like 22, and
It was
Bobby
just
Lee
so
is like
clear.
17. Like there's room here.
It was so
And And I-
clear how much it meant to Chi-Chi though, so it like broke
Yeah.
my heart. And they were like shitting on Chi-Chi so much. Nagazima and Vita were shitting on her so much, being like, "You're selfish," blah 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 blah. And I was like, I get where they're coming from. They're coming from like a protecting Chi-Chi and Bobby Ray situation, but that it's one of those awkward parts of the movie where I don't know
Yes.
if it's handled super well, but I don't know.
This is my take on it from a gender perspective.
Yeah.
I just think Chi-Chi is so much further along in reckoning with her gender identity compared to the other two. I
Yeah.
think while Noxima and Vita seem, at least within the scope of this movie, to kind of live full time as their drag personas, they still kind of rationally keep that distance in mind to a degree of like, I
Mhm.
can't be this. If I wanted to be, they have that whole explanation in the car where the language is outdated now, but it was actually the like progressive language of the time, where Noxima explains, "Darling, if you're going to become a drag queen, you're going to have to learn these things." The boy in a dress part is like heartbreaking language to hear, within the context of viewing this as a transgender movie.
Mhm.
However, I am able to like separate myself a little bit by being like, well, a drag queen who identifies as a man in their regular life is a man in a dress doing a persona.
I'm
So
so
like,
sorry, but also little Latin boy in a dress. Why
I
are
know.
you crying?
Why are you crying?
That is so
Um,
funny.
So
what a
funny. Oh my
crazy
god.
way
So
to approach that
beautiful.
conversation
The
also.
racist shit in this is so fucking
yeah.
crazy too. They're like
Yes.
coming for everyone, but it's like
Uh-huh.
equal opportunity, you
Yeah.
know? So it kind of levels the play.
If
And
you're
then it's like,
racist,
sorry, I
if
called you a farty
everybody's
old white
racist,
bitch.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Cancel
Yeah,
that.
everybody's being knocked down, okay? Nobody's
Yes.
left standing.
But Noxima explains, when a straight man puts on a dress and gets his sexual kicks, he is a transvestite. When a man is a woman trapped in a man's body and has the little operation, he is a transsexual. Crazy to use he there when you're literally saying it's a woman. But when a gay man has way too much fashion sense for one gender, he is a drag queen. And I think that is really kind of the way that those characters think of it, is they're like, if I don't want to have like gender reassignment surgery, then I must not be a transgender person. I just am a drag queen, even if I want to be a drag queen full time. And it's like, it's actually not so limiting
It
in that
wasn't
way.
the
People
nuance.
transition however they transition, whatever that looks like for them, even if that just means, hey guys, actually I'm a woman, and nothing else changes. That
Yeah.
can still be your transition. Everyone's is different.
Mhm.
And I
It
think,
could be like on a spectrum of gender as well, you know, where it's not just a man
yeah.
or a woman. Obviously, gender is a spectrum. So, but
And
that wasn't really in the zeitgeist at that time.
A
exactly.
secret third thing, guy.
Yeah.
That's what I think is kind of interesting about what he says. Is he says when a gay man has way too much fashion sense for one gender, like he's explicitly saying like, we don't have one gender. We
Mhm.
have this alternate gender. It's not a character that we're doing. It's like this other gender that we are embracing that belongs to us. So I just think if they if the common dialogue around gender ideology had progressed a little more at that time, they would be presenting differently or thinking of themselves differently. But I watched Trixie Mattel do a reaction video to this movie.
I also watched that.
Trixie.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's great.
fun. I should have watched that.
It's cute. It's only like 20 minutes long,
Yeah,
something
it
like
was
that.
good.
Trixie is really talking about the movie from the perspective that they are drag queens and like, what do they get right or wrong about being a drag queen. So Trixie isn't really contending with the idea that any of them are transgender necessarily.
Mm.
Just kind of is like, well, it's interesting that they're in their drag personas whole movie long. But Trixie talks about even when she started doing drag when she was younger, it like wasn't particularly cool at the time. Like it still was kind of like fringe in the queer communities in many ways. And it really wasn't until I don't think she says RuPaul's Drag Race was kind of responsible for this, but that's really what kind of entered it into popular culture in
The
a
social
more
zeitgeist.
mainstream way. Exactly, where it's like the average American now has some level of familiarity with it. Um, and Douglas Carter being the writer of this movie was kind of like, RuPaul, you're welcome, because these like drag competitions weren't really a thing the way that they're presented in the movie until RuPaul's Drag Race came into existence. But yeah, it was like being a drag queen existed. Obviously, we know Divine has been around for a minute, but the way that representation of them existed in the media was so separate from this movie and from our understanding of it now. And I think Vita especially, there's kind of this idea. I've seen somebody else say, I also had the thought though, that their personas, maybe for all of them, but I think especially for Vita, seem to potentially be inspired by their mothers. I think Vita's in particular is like really inspired by the women that she grew up around.
Yeah.
And I think in that moment where she's being like, you're being deceitful by presenting yourself as a woman to Bobby Ray, I think she is really in a way that she doesn't fully recognize or realize and isn't
Projecting.
100% called on. She is like becoming that conservative woman who's like, that's not the way things are done, those aren't the rules we live by, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
She's channeling it like a little too hard because this is like her idea of womanhood that she formed at a very young age.
Yeah,
So she just like
totally.
falls right into that trap, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
It's
also I
not.
think Chi is so real when she calls her out like, oh, sorry, what do you know about relationships? Who's loving you, Miss Vita? Nobody. That's right. I think Vita is really suffering from that in many ways of like not having these close relationships because she's not able to contend with the fact that she wants to live as Vita 100% of the time, but feels like in some way doing that maybe is she being dishonest if she doesn't come out to somebody, and then if she does come out to somebody it's a risk. And I don't know, I
Yeah,
think she's just like she was a little further behind on her journey.
she's really not dealt with any of her trauma with her parents and her
No.
family, and that's really clear. It's just an absolute raw wound for her. Uh, and I mean, obviously, she has a little bit of a breakthrough throughout this movie and towards the end. But like, yeah, that point at the end with Stockard Channing's character. Oh, what is her name?
Carol
Uh,
Ann.
Carol
Carol
Ann.
Ann. Like hearing the words "I love you" from a little nice white lady was like
I love you,
life
Miss Vita
change.
Bohem.
I love you, Miss Vita Bohem. Like hearing those words with her name was like life changing for her. So that speaks volumes to, her yearning for her own mother to say those words to her, or someone, a woman who she has intimacy like and closeness with, to say those words. That was a really powerful moment. At that point, I was sobbing hysterically already, and I had been for about like 15 to 20 minutes.
And it hadn't
And
stopped.
then like even when things were funny at the end, I was crying again. Like I was just like, it's so hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think this was necessarily the first time I started crying when I saw this in theaters last night, but in the scene where Carol is getting beat up by Virgil, I definitely was getting upset. And it is just an incredible scene the way that they step in though, the way that Vita is like, I'm getting involved, Noxima. I think it's so interesting. They really do. We don't necessarily get a sense of what their lives look like all the time or who they are on an average day. But we get these like hints at their backstories where Noxima is like, you don't get involved in stuff like this or you might be the one who gets really hurt or gets killed. You just like kind of mind your business. And to me, that's very much like growing up in New York in apartments is you just hear things through the walls,
Right.
and it can be dangerous to get involved. And so sometimes you don't. And then Vita is like growing up in the suburbs in this big ass house. So it's like you don't hear your neighbors. A lot of that stuff is just behind closed doors. And so you don't have to confront it. And then when you do see it, it feels like such a huge monumental thing that it's like, how could anybody not step in? She has to get involved. She has that connection too, where she tries to bond with Carol Ann earlier when Carol Ann is like, oh, you know, Virgil, blah blah blah. And Vita is like, yeah, my dad was kind of like that too. I used to also say he's just joking. It's just his sense of humor when he would call me cruel names. But he's kind of
Mhm.
revealing to her, like, I have also been a victim of abuse in my life. And like, I don't suffer that anymore. And I can't see anybody else suffer it anymore either. And I have to step in. But thank God Vita works out, so we don't need to worry about her.
Vita works out. It's fine.
Vita works out. Vita works out a lot.
actually works out. Did you know Vita works out? That part was so funny. Chi-Chi's about to spill the beans.
Mm-hmm.
Vita works out.
Vita works out, which is so interesting with the knowledge later in the film that Carol Ann has kind of been aware of what's going on this whole time, and she just kind of was like, it's not really my business. But you can see in that moment that that would manifest also as like if Virgil could figure out what's going on, and that Vita is a drag queen or a woman in whatever capacity Vita is identifying, that also would be a person that Virgil would want to hurt or would think is okay to hurt or should be a target of harm. And the fact that Vita works out, it's like, you know what? Okay, then Vita can handle herself.
She said Vita works
Vita's
out.
good.
It's fine.
And Vita is like, I will throw you out of this house, girl. I will hit you
And
back
she
so
did.
hard.
Fuck that bitch.
There's
Another.
this.
Oh,
You go.
well, there's like a lot of moments in this movie where things get like super insanely, supremely fucking dark.
Yeah.
And then
That's
they
kind
pull
of, remember when I
away.
was introducing it and I was like, it is kind of scary. And then I was like, what am I, let me just, you watch the film.
Oh
But I was
yeah,
like,
that's what you were fucking talking about. I was like, are you
yeah,
having
it's
it?
like,
Oh, what's happening?
there's racism, there's homophobia, there's
Well, there's so much
transphobia,
like
there's violence, there's
sexual
sexual
assault
assault,
and
there's
near
domestic
rape.
abuse. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was gonna happen with Chi-Chi and all those boys? Were they gonna
Yeah.
fucking like? I was like, is this a gang rape setup right now? It was so
Yeah.
scary. It was
Mhm.
so
That
fucking scary. And then
the
like
cop.
the
The
cop.
cop.
Oh my god, the cop was so. That was so scary for so many reasons. Just the cop scene because we had like he was obviously being so racist to Chi Chi and Noxzema and like just like immediately sexual advances towards Vita. It was
I know what you career girls want. Careers?
I'm gonna start calling myself a career girl from now on with men. Sorry, I'm a career girl
We're
now.
just three young career girls.
I know what you are. What? A
A
career girl.
career girl. Yes, exactly.
I am. So funny. It's so funny. But yeah, like there's so many like really,
Tough
really
scenes.
tough scenes, but then to compare it to a movie that didn't handle it as well. There's like tough scenes, but then they pivot away and the jokes don't feel like they're cheapening what happened necessarily. Um and they also like don't go all the way there over your dead body. In stark contrast.
Yeah, I think this movie does a really interesting job of acknowledging all of the dangers that exist for people like our three beautiful main characters. Um, from all the different perspectives that someone could want to hurt them and try to hurt them. And I think it also it like acknowledges that this is that same world, but within the scope of this movie, it also allows this like beautiful magical realism to filter down, not just that like one day spent in a small town can change the hearts and minds of everybody, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? But also just that like all of these troubles, they exist, but we don't need to like meaningfully really face the weight of them here.
Well,
Mhm.
especially like the first before they get to the town where they're like tired and they're trying to find a hotel and they're like no, like she's gonna get herself killed, and then they're like, oh my god, all your friends are in there, and they're like, what? They're like, we have hors d'oeuvres, and then it's like a women's basketball
Mhm.
reunion
That was
or something.
fucking
It was so
hysterical.
funny.
It's so
Also,
funny.
and Wesley Snipes was like fucking so good
Balling
at
out.
Yeah.
so good, and then being like, like to pass off like dunking, like almost literally dunking. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. God, it's so good. But yeah, I think what was it? There it is. Oh, okay. I mean, part of the like whole like lifeblood, which they're making up along the way, but like the four tenets of being a drag queen or the four steps of true queenliness. The second one is ignore adversity, which I think is hysterical, but like that's like kind of like part of the thesis of this movie, which isn't necessarily a reality that existed at the time that this movie came out. Definitely wasn't that a reality that existed, but like it was a beautiful fantasy in a way to just be like, we're gonna ignore the fact that people are gonna look at us differently because we're different and just succeed in their face regardless of it, and like not regardless of it, like because of it and regardless of it, if that makes sense. um and I think, like, is a good moral thing, not moral, like a good lesson or whatever for people to see like play out positively, like to like bolster the queer community and have that, even if it wasn't necessarily exactly a reality, but like adding some of that confidence, just like they say to Bobby Lee, like just imagine it and believe it to be real. Like that's what this movie kind of is doing, like imagining a world where this could be real and hopefully through that getting us closer to it. And so I thought that was kind of a cool, not parallel, but
Yeah. Pigeon pin on this for a couple of weeks. We'll circle back to it later, but I do think that it is like a beautiful, sweet message here to be like, yes, caution can keep you safe, but also sometimes fear is going to hold you back.
mm-hmm.
You sometimes you just have to move through the world the way you are, and people are going to do whatever they want with it, but you can't be trying to navigate other people's responses 100% of the time. You just have to be
Yeah.
yourself. And sometimes you will be rewarded with a luxurious bed to sleep in at the budget motel and get to hang out with a lot of other tall women of your same height and play some sports with them. But that's one of
Yeah.
those things where I was like, this movie was so non-controversial in 1995, but in 2026 they'd be like, these men are playing women's sports and using women's bathrooms.
We've
See,
gone
he
back
dunks on
so
them.
far. We have regressed as a society. Fucking Christ. It's so frustrating.
But it's like, it's so not even a thing in the movie. You know what I
No.
mean? Like, the joke is that they blend right in and that nobody suspects anything and that everyone has a fun, safe time hanging out with each other. It's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Well, they just like meet on a plane where, you know, everyone's just like, even if they don't necessarily know, like the small town is so small that maybe they don't even know about drag queens existing literally at all. So they're like, these are just some like buff women, and like they look a little different than maybe what I would expect, but like they're meeting on like this like non-existent plane where they're all just people stuck in the same town, and they are meeting each other just as like individuals and as personalities, and like they're kind people, and they're doing things for each other and helping each other out and having fun in a town where there's nothing to do, and just like that one little spark of fun and creativity like bonds them all together. So it's like beyond like creed or whatever, because they're just like meeting as humans, and that's what makes this like so beautiful.
Person to
That's like,
person.
yeah, they're just person to person. I love all the fucking shit with the town and the dressing up, like a, what's it called, a day out with the ladies.
A day with
what's
the
like
girls.
Yeah.
a day with the girls. How they all
I've
like
never
know
heard
exactly
that
what
phrase
that is.
before.
So sweet.
What's a day
And
with the girls? It's like you go to you do charity, and then you go to brunch, and you get your hair done,
they're
and then you go to
done.
shopping, then you go to a little cafe.
The clothes that they pull out of the back of that
The
store
I knew you
60s?
would
are
that.
so fucking awesome. That's like all of my dream outfits. They're so good. Beth Grant looks so cute in her lime green boa. Also, I was like, slay Beth. Okay, love. Um, the most dead over not even not whose outfit did I like the most? That's really hard. I mean, Claire's honestly slayed pretty fucking hard. The ones that I like the most, I don't know the names of those ladies, but they all looked
Yeah.
so beautiful.
I
Myrna,
want
I
their
think, is the
hairdress,
redhead.
the hairdresser studio, like
Mm-hmm.
salon. Like that's where I want to go get my hair done. Like
I
it
love the
looks
Yeah, the
girl with the like
so
hands in
hairstyles.
under the things. All
Yes.
the
but
curls are
like
setting.
we don't have that kind of like you don't go to the hair salon to like get your hair done for the week like they
Yeah.
used to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Like we should do fucking like beehives again. I'll tease my hair. It's already on its way out, so might as well just break it all off now. Um I will say though, and not to say anything negative about this movie because it's perfect, but absolutely positivity. Positivity. Absolute positivity.
Absolute
Absolutely
positivity.
positively, the timeline of events makes no fucking sense in this movie,
Yeah.
literally at all. The costume continuity timeline shit makes no fucking sense. I was like, what day it is? What day is it? What event is it? Why are they in a different outfit? And then they're back in the outfit they were in before, and then they're in a different outfit again. I was like, what is this dance? Why is Bobby Lee Roberta like dressed up right now? Is there a like I thought the dance was tomorrow. I was like, what's going on? But I like maybe that's just me being stupid. But like I did not know. I did not have a pamphlet with the dates and times of the Strawberry Festival, and I really needed one because I was like, I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost. And the day of the actual Strawberry Festival, they're all in there, red and wild.
Red and
and
wild. You guys
wild.
need a theme. Red and wild.
That's it. That's it.
I
Wild
have
strawberries.
my
That's it. That's a theme. Red and wild.
I
Chelsea
have this
dressed up
as
as a
well.
strawberry.
Yeah.
So cute.
And I have my little
Oh, I
strawberry
get it.
vase.
I'm stupid. I was like, oh, that's like so fun with the little green hair headpiece. How interesting.
That's my little strawberry leaf.
It looks very cute. It looks very
Thank
cute.
you.
But like they're all in the red,
Yeah.
and then they're leaving, and the girls are all like in their lavender outfits to leave, and then like the continuity with the white dress that Chi Chi's in the day before. I do not understand the times in which Chi Chi is in the white little get up, which I almost wore that today. I want to do my hair like her, but I was like, I have a red feather boa. Like, what am I gonna do?
I
Not
think
wear
it's
it?
nice that we're all red and wild together.
Yeah, red and wild.
But yeah, the timeline is a little crazy. It's like we see them set out, and I love when they're at like Crazy Elijah's car lot or whatever, and they're picking the car, and then they're like, "It's the age-old question, ladies: style or substance?" And they all go, in unison, and it's like
And
obviously
then
they're
they're
picking the
driving off
convertible,
with the
even though he's like,
Cadillac.
it's not gonna get you to California. Like he
Yeah.
tries so hard to warn them, and they're like, I don't care. Obviously, I need it to be fabulous. I will sacrifice literally everything so that the car is fabulous.
Okay, but also, how do
lay in the
I
yacht.
get a $50 shitty car? We don't have cash
You need
cars
Jacob
anymore.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt's
Schmidt.
name to drop. That's what you
Yeah,
need.
seriously. You say
That
that
guy's cars are
anywhere.
like his children, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But
He's like,
like,
please
but
take the Toyota Corolla. They're like, no,
No.
we simply could never.
Honestly,
Um,
I'd probably do the same thing too. So
yeah, but it's like we see them in their outfits driving away in that. That's what they're in on the road. When they're looking for the hotel, they've changed outfits. So now it's like they maybe slept in the car at some point, like they kind of suggest is what happened. But now
or
it's
they
been
just did
2
a
days on the
midday fucking
road.
change because they do that at
Maybe.
one point too. They like go in that bathroom and then they come out and they just like did a whole outfit change for no reason during that time. Then the
Mm-hmm.
car's dead by the time they're out of it. They
Yeah,
definitely do the style over substance thing like as a rule, especially
they're
for the
queens.
montage
Yeah,
shit in the middle. Like
for sure.
that doesn't have to make sense. You don't need to know
Yeah.
what day it is or what time it is
But it's
or
like
if
the
these
car
scenes are in
breaks
order.
down on a Friday night. And Chi Chi does her little Marilyn Monroe hitchhiking leg move. After they strip her, I love when they strip her of her princess points, and she's like,
Yes,
and
that
Noxema's
was
like,
so good.
ooh, that's voodoo, that's serious, that's cold. But she does her little thing to get them rescued, and Bobby Ray tows them into town. It's like that's Friday night. They wake up, and when they have the conversation with Virgil about the part coming in, they go, Saturday morning, that's today. The part's not coming until Monday. And they're like, well, at least we have the Strawberry Festival tomorrow. So it's like basically everything that we see in town is
over a
Saturday.
weekend.
It's like just
Just
Saturday.
one day.
One day, just Saturday.
That does
The
not
dance
even
is
make
that
any
night.
sense.
The social is the next day. And then it's like, do they all immediately change out of their red once they've finished eating the pies? And then they're like, goodbye, because the car's ready at that point. Because Carol Ann is like, actually, I can fix this on my own. We don't need Cadillac parts. Maybe Virgil is just being an asshole. Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to
Well,
say?
he
Really?
ruined his
Maybe
own
she's
life.
just she's also an angel. We don't know. But it's like, yeah, basically everything is Saturday. And then
That's
we have
so
the
fucking
strawberry social.
crazy.
And it's like the
A lot
cop
can
gets
change in a
knocked
day.
out Friday night. Lays there, no serious head injury, it seems. So I assume he's laying there in his shame and embarrassment until somebody finds him the next morning. And then he makes a list of where homos go and starts
That was
searching. Once
Chelsea,
again,
so
this
funny.
is all just Saturday.
if
Flower
you don't
shop.
screenshot that shit and add one that says like spookytuesdaypod.com
Yeah,
or something like that, I was like, wow, I had a social media idea for the
I'll write
first
it
time,
down.
but I'm sure
I'll
you
write it
already had
down.
that idea.
Yeah.
I was just
But
like,
I'll
wow,
put it into
it's
here.
clear as day.
Places for homos.
And
And look, if you look at his list, flower shops, ballet schools, flight attendants, lounges, restaurants for brunch, antique stores, it's like, yeah, I'm all of those places.
Yeah, no,
He clocked
he
us.
was right. Well, the reason you want to know why he knows because he unfortunately is a closeted person of the community.
He's standing
That
outside all of those places looking inside with yearning through the window.
the part at the bar, I know it's like low hanging fruit. This whole joke, but when he's sitting at the bar and he's like just like muttering to himself like men touching men, their stubbly chins
Swirls of
rubbing
chest
against
hair.
when he said swirls of chest
Yeah,
hair,
he's like,
as
now
he
you're getting romantic about it.
that Jonah Hill looking ass motherfucker, he looks so much like Jonah Hill to me. It's funny to me. He like is talking himself into homosexuality like so beautifully, like
that
like
actor is
that
Sean Penn's brother.
oh my god. Well, his performance was incredible. I fucking hate Sean Penn. I
Yeah.
screamed at the top of my lungs when Sean Penn won the fucking Oscar this year,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't stop screaming about it the entire time. I was so mad. I was so mad. It should have been Jacob Elordi.
Agreed. It should have been.
It
It was
should have been Jacob
also
Elordi or anyone else. Honestly, anyone else.
Anybody else?
when they in this movie were like, Mel Gibson can stay. He's so cute. I was like, no, boo! You guys,
I know,
you're gonna
that didn't
find out
age
bad
well.
stuff.
Mel Gibson apparently
Ugh.
like considered being Vita in this movie,
Yeah,
and I
he
think
almost
like
did it.
Johnny Depp and
Kyle MacLachlan, is that his name?
Gary Oldman. Kyle
Gary
MacLachlan did. I
Oldman.
saw that video. That video just came
Mhm.
up on my page, on my feed. He was talking with, talking with Trixie in that?
I think
No.
so.
Yeah, he was with
That sounds
talking with
right.
Trixie.
Or maybe
And,
Katya,
that
I don't
interview
know.
must have just come out. I love Kyle MacLachlan. But Gary Oldman was going to do it too. But then he was, after Bram Stoker's Dracula, he didn't want to take another role that involved like hours in a makeup
makeup.
chair because he was horrified after Bram Stoker's.
That's
I'm
enough.
like, I get
Yeah.
it. He went through a lot in that shit, so I get it. And also, quite frankly, I can't imagine this with Gary Oldman in it. I love him in
No,
ways,
this cast
but
was-
I like really don't want him in this. So thank God it ended up the way it should be. I have such more respect for John Leguizamo after this.
Talk
Remember
about
him in The Menu. Love that guy.
an incredible back-to-back run, because this came out in 1995 and then Romeo and Juliet came out in 1996.
Oh, he's so
Incredible.
hot in that.
And that movie is one of my favorite
He's
movies,
hot
and
in that.
he's so good. Is
He's
Mercutio in that one, or
I think he's Mercutio.
yeah,
I'll look it up right now.
That sounds right to me.
he's the one that dies? Yeah,
I think
Well, a whole bunch
so.
of them die, you know.
I mean, yeah, I know,
I
Right?
know, but
I
like
think
he dies at the
he's
beginning.
like
and-
the big one.
Because does Tybalt also die? That's my only other option. It's been a long time since I've been in
he's
Romeo
in
and
Moulin
Juliet land.
Rouge.
Yeah,
Wow, he's Tybalt actually. He plays Tybalt. Who dies? He dies.
See, okay, that's what it was.
Oh yes, because what's his face is Mercutio, and it was like the fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like
glitter.
Mercutio
Yes, okay. I was
is
What's his name?
I was like, I always
a
get them confused.
white guy, right? No,
No,
maybe not.
Harold
Harold
Perrineau.
Perrineau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And people
Who am I
love
thinking
his
of?
portrayal as Mercutio.
Oh, I'm thinking of Paul Rudd just being in it. That's the white guy I was thinking of. I was like, there's some white guy I know. Oh, it's Paul Rudd. Oh, it's Paul Rudd. It's always Paul Rudd. Oh man. Okay, I had already seen the climax scene of this movie actually because it was a clip that was on Instagram Reels. And I cried when I saw that clip then. It is because I was like, that's so nice. It's the Adam's apple part.
Yeah.
The Carol Ann Adam's apple part, which is again, it's the emotional climax of the film. I was like, ah! Like I was crying like that loud. It's just so sweet. It's so sweet. I
Mhm.
love, and it goes back to what we were saying before, and like the fear that Vita has is the fear like holding her back because she is like putting the expectations of like negativity expectations onto people and they might not have them. And I think it's again fair. She's protecting herself. She's in a dangerous, vulnerable space because of her identity. So I get it. But like again, like this right here, that she thought this was gonna be this horrible moment where she's gonna crack their friendship by telling this truth, and it was a non-issue. She already knew. She knew the whole time.
and that's because she doesn't see Vita as a man, and she doesn't see Vita as a woman. She sees Vita as an angel, and he goes,
And I think that's
That's
natural.
That's
I think
healthy.
that's healthy.
I think that's healthy.
I do too.
That was so funny. I was like, that's the weirdest line in this movie, but I love it. That's
I
healthy.
died.
But I feel
Yeah.
like when she's like, that's healthy, she's like, I wish you hadn't said it. Like, I really liked what you said right before that, and I wish we had left it like just no. It's
What
so funny.
if?
I actually kind of feel like Vita, with where she's at, would appreciate that because I
No,
don't
I
know.
think you did.
I think, I think if maybe Vita knew the term non-binary, maybe she would embrace being a trans femme non-binary person, who uses she/her pronouns. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Vita. But I think there's just like a lot of space for all kinds of different interpretations and not being so strictly limited one way or another by the gender binary, even if you're like, I don't want to say disrupting it by being like, I get to choose my gender. I know my gender in ways other people can't assign me. Um, but you don't have to be locked into the binary either. But yeah, it's just I see you as an angel, I think is to some degree like this beautiful moment of like you are a person to me, but also you have so radically touched and changed and transformed my life and my ideas of myself and what is available to me. That you are like a guardian angel coming in. And I think they have that very sweet in some ways moment where all three women are up on the balcony watching the dance below, going, sometimes it just takes a fairy.
And they
And
look
they're like,
Love.
Sleeping Beauty, the three fairies. They're like
see,
literally all dressed like that.
I saw that on IMDb trivia and I agree and I support them, but to me, immediately I was like, biblically accurate Powerpuff Girls.
Here's the thing. I had the,
Oh.
they look like the Sleeping Beauty thing, and then I looked at trivia and I was like, somebody else saw it too.
Gorgeous. That, because those are
Yes.
fairies, but I'm also
Yeah.
like Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles, and Blossom and Buttercup are beating people up throughout the movie 100%.
Objectively fairies.
So good.
100%. And Bubbles is off just like being sweet and trying to have a romance.
Correct.
Yeah. Ugh. And I love the like end too. One that's just like such a slay sequence. By the way, yeah, choreography by Kenny Ortega.
Oh, incredible.
Don't you ever forget it. Forget it. High School Musical, honey. Let's go. Um, but I loved all the costumes at the end. It was so fabulous. And I love that Chi Chi somehow has won the entire thing.
Well, she's completed all 4 steps of becoming a drag
And she looks
queen.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
she's no
She's
longer a
graduated
princess.
from drag
Stunning.
princess, no matter how young and beautiful being a princess implies, just like her graphic romance novel, Princess Laritza.
Okay, I love that no matter what decade, a girlhood connector is reading smut in a car with all your other girlies.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I will read
cute.
it out loud for my girlies, and then sometimes I will try and connect with it to another person, and they'll go, "Gotta go, bye."
That shit was so funny. They're like, we really like you, but we don't. We can only go
But that's
so
not
far.
our journey. Yeah.
And that's not and that's not our journey. But I love that, and I love that Julie Newmar is in the actual movie, and she's fabulous, and she's gorgeous, and that's Catwoman, baby. So
What a great way
Mhm.
to end it with just a still of Julie
Mm-hmm.
Newmar. Blech.
and
This is
also,
sorry, go ahead.
oh, I just the name of this whole movie is hysterical, and it's based
Yeah.
on like actually, actual side picture from
Yeah.
the Chinese restaurant in New York.
And who was it?
Fucking
It was like
hysterical.
because Stephen King produced, not Stephen King, Steven Spielberg.
Stephen King produced this.
Yeah.
Stephen,
Uh,
and you can really feel that energy in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
film.
But
He got good
They
at
don't
writing
say
women
where
somehow.
it takes place. They filmed in Nebraska, but actually they're in Maine.
it's a Maine.
It's
They're
in
going
Bangor,
the
Maine.
opposite way. They got really lost.
That's why the cop pulled them over. He's like, "Where do you think they are?" And they're like, "West
West
Virginia." He's like,
Virginia.
"You're in Maine."
But I think he fought to keep the like title of the movie, and like him like and the writer like really fought, and then I keep wanting to say Stephen King. Steven Spielberg was like, no, like this is the title. And so because Steven Spielberg was like, this is the title, the studio was like, okay, fine.
I read this crazy trivia that was like Robin Williams read the whole script out loud to Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg was like, "Holy shit, that was beautiful, Robin Williams. Thank you for reading the entire script out loud. I love it." And so then he became involved, and he told the director, who was, wait, hold on,
Beeben
give me 1 second.
Kidron.
Beeben Kidron. Is Beeben a woman?
Yes. And she
Yes.
was
Okay.
9
She
months
was
pregnant.
That's the end of my trivia. She was 9 months pregnant at the time, and he was like, "If you gotta go and be given at birth, I'll take over as director of To Wong Foo. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Can you imagine? To Wong Foo, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Director Steven Spielberg. That's just so funny. But I love that he was so down with it.
Did you see when she gave birth?
The
No, I
last day of production.
The
The
last day of
baby was
filming.
like
Yeah.
5 days late too.
The baby.
She held it in until they
knew-
could finish.
The baby was like, art is being made and I cannot intervene.
The baby.
I'm
That's
here. I'm
amazing.
glad to be here, but I'll wait.
But
You need to pay attention on your work right now.
her baby
So
is
funny.
credited in the like credits as best
Mhm.
baby.
Best
Yeah, like a play on Best Boy.
Yeah,
baby. What is a best boy to a movie?
it's the best boy.
the
Oh,
best.
all right, great. I saw that it was a play on Best Boy, and I was like, and I don't know what that means.
He's the foreman for the department. But which
Hmm.
department is that? Oh, it's in. That's what I thought. The best boy in a movie is the chief assistant to either the gaffer, which is the head electrician, or the key grip, which is the head of rigging and camera movement.
Incredible.
Da, 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 da. But I think it's time for us to move on to our.
Sagamuntos.
How could this movie be gayer? It's so gay, but they could be like transgender. We're transgender. They could say that.
Right.
Here are my
or
notes
one
for
of us
this
is
segment.
transgender.
Mhm.
They could do that.
Chi
The
Chi
transgender
especially, I think, is inarguably trans within the
Yeah.
movie. We never see
totally
her
trans.
getting into drag. We only see her already in drag. Sure, she doesn't have her wig on in the beginning, but that's it. And then she's like, I know, when Noxema is explaining about being transgender, implying like, you don't have to tell me, girl. And then she threatens to get out of the car. But even for everybody else, and then Chi has that line talking to Bobby Ray where she says her whole life she's been waiting for someone to understand how she felt inside, and he made her feel like the most perfect girl. I think just like case closed on Chi. Vita, Robin Williams says to her in the beginning, she speaks French, how bye. I think she and Carol Ann are in romantic love with each other.
That was
Yeah.
so funny. Yeah,
When,
yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can see it being like a healing mother figure-esque thing. But also I think that they should be a couple. And
I agree.
Vita picks her flowers. And she says, I love you to Vita. And Vita says, I'm so happy that you were the first person to say those words to that name. I think the kid who works at the clothes shop, gay, love him, obsessed with
so
him.
gay.
His
Yes,
outfit is actually my favorite of the outfits. That I would
Yes.
wear that every day of my life. Yellow, I think, is one of my favorite colors.
Noxema, I think you could convince me that Noxema is the most likely to be a drag queen who does not fully identify as
Yeah,
a woman.
I agree
However,
with you.
she has that line when Chi is making a joke after getting back in the car about being like, princesses are so much younger than queens. She's like, this is not a masquerade. This is real life. And so a little bit, I think that is support for Noxema as well. And also, just while I'm talking about Noxema, I think it is so funny when she's introducing herself to the women in the cafe and she's like, Noxema Jackson, I'm Jesse's daughter.
So
I just think
funny.
she's so funny. Her style is so fantastic, incredible.
Love it. I love it so much. Okay, any other gay thoughts?
So many more gay thoughts.
Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard, unfortunately, in this time period, would be one of the gang rape boys. I'm sorry to say.
Yes, but then they become the Strawberry Crew.
They become the Strawberry
Yeah.
Crew. They can become so
With their
great. But they
airbrush
really
t-shirts.
I
have
want
a
to get
rough
that
Afternoon
start.
airbrush
ladies.
t-shirt with the bull and the strawberries on the horns. I need
They're
that.
fabulous.
Very good. Very good.
I
Who
think some of
knew
those
if
guys
we-
are gay secretly with each other.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's why they needed to all be a group, because it's like, I actually can't, I'm not going to have sexual experiences at all if my bro isn't here.
Yeah. I also choose, yeah. They're just excited because they'd never seen like that type of woman before, you know what I mean? And they're like, wow, I'm actually
A statuesque
really
woman,
into
one
a
might
sexual
say.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, but I do think he would be one of them.
But he could be Bobby Ray. But I love
He
Bobby
could
Ray
be
as Bobby
Bobby
Ray.
Ray. But I love Bobby Ray as Bobby Ray.
I would have liked to have seen Matthew in as the hotel guy that leads them back into the little room.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think that would be very cute. Or he could have been one of the drag queens in the first number.
I need to see him in drag, so
what if he's the twink in chains?
The what?
Who delivers in the beginning, delivers the crown or whatever to Rachel Tension, and she's like, I don't know who he is, but if it snows tonight, he's going on my tires.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's who it is. That's who he is. Perfect. Done.
And it's Matthew Lillard.
And that brings us to the dumb bitch, and unfortunately, it's the cop. But also, it's not unfortunate. It's a cop. And Virgil. Oh no, Virgil is like arguably worse because Virgil's not part of the community.
Yeah, I think the cop takes it. I wanted to circle back to the cop, so I'm glad he's coming back up again. I have a little bit of a problem with the whole he's secretly gay thing because I kind of think
it's like a cop. It's like icky.
Yeah, it's complicated because I think it is both very real that there are a lot of conservative people out there who are like, being gay is a choice, and I know that it's a choice because I'm choosing to be straight. And it's like, actually, girl, maybe you need to reflect on that because people who are straight don't have to choose to be straight. But it is like very real that there are Republican people, politicians, community leaders, whatever, who like have whatever secretly going on in their private life, and then publicly they're like, let's execute queer people or whatever. Let's criminalize being queer in whatever way. So I think it is like realistic to have that there. I think it is also a little bit sad that it is like kind of what makes him not so scary is by being like, but he's gay.
Yeah, it's like it was a funny joke, I get it, but it was like a punch down kind of moment.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also just think it's like a very nuanced conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his whole thing, one of the actually scariest parts of the scene is not when something bad is happening to the girls directly that we see, but when Sheriff Dullard is going to the other police and they're like laughing at him because he got beat up by a girl. And he's like, I'm going to bring 3 corpses back here. And you're going to look up their skirts. And if you see something there that shouldn't be there, if you don't see something there that shouldn't be there, then I don't know what. He's literally saying, like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to kill these people because I'm being laughed at.
That was like a scary reality check moment.
Yeah.
Of the movie. My brain deleted that because it was so horrific. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, there's that like classic quote of like, men are afraid of being laughed at and women are afraid of being killed. And he is like, and I will kill because I'm being laughed at. And so I just think that's like the ultimate dumb bitch behavior.
Oh yeah. Well, fuck him. He said him and Virgil can go to fucking hell, but
and the rape boys before they are transformed into good gentlemen by being grabbed by the balls one time.
Yeah. Did you know that is
they just really like a strong, fierce woman, okay?
Yeah, okay. I remember I was saying, let's show this to children because it teaches you great lessons. Maybe like
I think sometimes violence is the answer.
Only Wesley Snipes can do that. Sorry. So
Wesley Snipes can grab you by the dick and balls and make you apologize to all these lovely ladies, and Patrick Swayze can kick the shit out of you if you are not treating ladies nicely.
Yes, he can. Okay, cool. That brings us to our knives out of 5. I don't want to hear this Rotten Tomatoes score, but I have to, and so. People are so dumb. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting upset already.
It is a cult classic, so it is very, very, very beloved now and has accumulated so much love over time, but was loved when it came out by mainstream audiences. But with that in mind, on IMDb, it has a 6.8 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has 49% rotten from critics, but 72% fresh from audiences. So big disparity there. However, it did go on the award circuit a little bit. At the 1996 GLAAD Media Awards, shouts out GLAAD, it was nominated for Outstanding Film. And at the 1996 Golden Globes, Patrick Swayze was nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical, and John Leguizamo was nominated for Best Performance by a Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. So it did get some critical recognition, even if the initial critical response was pretty negative. But it just is so clearly loved by a lot of people, even if it is not a perfect film, and even if some of it doesn't necessarily stand the test of time.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like I shouldn't give it a 5 out of 5 because there's so many things that like are actually like kind of like fucked up that happened in it, but it was the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And so I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 and I loved it so much. I was just like in rapt attention. I also did lose my phone, which was a big part of being in rapt attention. I couldn't find it. It was just in my office. It was just sitting on my office desk. But that was God's hand intervening and giving me the space to be locked the fuck in. I just had the best time ever. I just had the best time ever. I was laughing so much. I cried so much. I cried so much. I was, when some things were funny, I cried instead because I was like, it's so funny.
It's just so good.
Ugh. Everyone needs to watch this movie. Everyone should see it. It's fantastic. And I just love all the queer films that came out in this era. They were doing it in a really special way, and just a great reminder to go back and watch more of those. Like I had already seen The Birdcage, and that meant so much to me. Now I need to see Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Fried Green Tomatoes, like you said. And there's like one other one that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, those films are as beloved for a reason. So 5 out of 5 for me. I don't see flaws. I don't care that none of the costuming was continuity made sense.
But it was so gorgeous.
Yeah,
it was
who
so
cares?
gorgeous.
So gorgeous.
But I had no idea what was going on at any given time. But like I understood the themes. It's not about a linear timeline. We are outside of space and time. We are on drag time. Okay, and it's different.
5 out of 5. I fucking love this movie. Like, I don't even care. Like, I think the bad things that they say make it like funnier and even more perfect to me. Like, so sorry. Like, it's like,
it was hysterical.
I'm so sorry. Little Latin boy in a dress. Why are you crying? Is going.
It's an iconic line.
Is unfortunately going to be
that
something that I
triple platinum in Sydney's house
all the time for like everything.
Next time I cry, you're gonna say that to
Little
me,
Latin
and
boy
I'm
in
gonna
a
be
dress.
pissed, but I can't be pissed because it'd be very funny.
But just like, I miss Patrick Swayze so much. I would love to like know what his thoughts were like in 2026, like reflecting on this movie being like 31 years old and with the state of everything and how like his experience like helped or blah blah blah. Like I just want to know his thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this movie is gorgeous and beautiful and touching and meaningful and did a lot for the queer community. And yes, it's not perfect, and maybe it was actually like not even particularly brave for its time in some ways. But I think that it just was made with a lot of heart and love, and that is really what is most evident about this film. I'm so glad that you guys love it so much because I wept in the theater last night, but I also was like, there's a lot here that could hurt somebody's feelings, I'm sure. And I am sure people have that experience.
Yeah. Totally.
And I was just like scared that it was not going to feel as like warm and as much of an embrace to you guys as it feels to me. And
Oh
so I
no.
am just like glad to share this joy with you guys.
No,
Um,
seriously, thank you.
I love it so much. I think that I don't know. I think about like Queens of the Dead a lot. I think Scrumptious is so clearly like the drag
Scrumptious.
daughter of Chichi Rodriguez here. I
So, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, especially with Scrumptious in that movie being like, you guys don't take me seriously.
Mhm.
Um, and then you won't even call me scrumptious. So I think that there's like a lot of trickle down in queer media from this movie. I think that it is one of those movies that really it's so like pop culture involved. There were so many references in here that are like that I was like stopping to Google like who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And like the love of films that Clara and Noxema share. I think it's just one of those things that really shows like queer media can be power or media in general is powerful.
Yeah.
And so I love that about this movie. Um and I think, again, the fact that policing drag queens and trans women hurts all women and girls is not the only reason to stop hate against drag queens and transgender people. But I think we see that in this film. That's one of those things that we didn't really discuss is like in trying to hunt down these drag queens, the cop is going
They're
around
terrorizing
policing
all
women
those women.
everywhere, men
Yeah.
everywhere, making it less safe for people, going into children's ballet classes and being like this sinister force. Um, I don't think that we need to eliminate transphobia to protect cisgender women from gender persecution. But I think people who are like, I'm trying to
It's
protect
a
women, it's just like, no, you're not, because that is not the outcome. You are
no.
looking for an excuse to
Look
harm
at all
trans
these
people.
cis women getting transvestigated and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's like you're not doing the thing you're doing. You said you're
Yeah.
doing.
And I just think this movie it's like wild how directly it translates into 2026. Um and
Mhm.
it is crazy to me that again, I think if you made this movie exactly this way in this year, it would not be received positively by middle America the way that this movie was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we still have it and I'm glad it is still so beloved and I beloved it 5 knives out of five's worth.
Slay.
Everybody must watch this.
Yeah.
Mandatory watching. Come to my house on Friday. We'll have pizza.
That sounds so
Seriously.
fun. I'm on my way, girl.
What a gorgeous note to end Trans Pride on. Oh my God. I wish we could do it every day, every year. But, we're always, trying to, anytime there's a queer opportunity, we're taking it. We're going to do Leviticus in 2 weeks. Fucking relax. Okay, everybody calm down. But, like, it's just so important to celebrate art by trans creators, trans actors, whoever it may be. So hyped for Camp Miasma later on this summer from Jane Schoenberg. Like it's just Schoenbrunn. Fuck, just
Schönbrunn, I think.
Schoenbrunn. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that, Jane. But yeah, like it's been so cool to dive into like trans art like this, and we could go even deeper. It sucks that 5 is not enough days. Five episodes is not enough episodes to get into this. There are so many really fun like indies that we considered. Let's shout them out actually. Bit, that's what it was called. When did
Yeah,
that
I
one come
loved
out?
that. And that
Mhm.
had like a really fun message about like gender essentialism because it's like a transgender girl joins an all-girl group of vampires. And she's like, are you sure it's cool if I join? And they're like, didn't even occur to me. And then there's like stuff at the end too, where they get more into that theme in ways that I think are beautiful. Um,
Yeah. I haven't watched that one yet, but I watched T Blockers. And that was really fun romp. Great indie. I think it's like Australian or New
New
Zealandian.
Zealandy?
I've literally
somewhere
been
down
there and
in
I don't know
Oceania.
how to say it. Kiwi. But it's down there, down under. And it was really, really fun, like really like punk rock, like just revenge style trans girls taking out revenge on the men who have wronged them. Obviously, with a paranormal twist to it, but it was very, very fun and really cool. I really liked it a lot. And the music in it was really, really fun, also. So I can't recommend that enough. And those are just two that we really wanted to include, but there's so many more. Oh, also, well, we're all going to the World's Fair. Jane.
Yeah, which we talked about a little on our Matrix episode,
Yeah.
and that was super interesting. I also watched Assassination Nation. I mentioned that at some point. Again, tough movie to watch, but very politically relevant. I watched another movie called Bad Things, which was pitched to me by Google as a sapphic take on The Shining, and there are trans actors and characters in that one. So that was fun.
Yeah, so just because trans pride is ending, that doesn't mean the feeling goes away, and you can keep it going all next month long, every day, every year. Let's keep it going. And as a reminder, our fundraiser continues for Transgender Law Center. It will keep. What did I just try to say? I just want to say transgender again. It will continue on until Monday the 6th. So July 6th. So keep on donating if you are able. Every dollar really means so much to us. So thank you so much. This is a really great organization doing really impactful work. And also, again, you still have today to listen to drum up more ad revenue for us to donate. And also Patreon, if you purchase any of our content or join our Patreon, we will be donating that as well. So thank you guys for coming on this journey with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And actually, speaking of the Patreon, it's that time. It's that time of the year, of the quarter. Every quarter, we give the patrons their shot. We let them choose the movie, and sometimes it's scary. It's very scary to give up power to the patrons, and they're so powerful. And honestly, they sway us so much because there's so many movies that did not win that they put on this list that we're like, well, we're definitely gonna do that one now. So we have like three of the movies they suggested. We're doing all of them. Spoilers for the patrons. We won't tell you which ones. But next week we are doing a very highly anticipated movie. Everybody wants us to cover this movie. We've been wanting to cover it, but we just couldn't fit it into our schedule earlier. The people have spoken. We are doing Obsession. It's happening. Yeah, such a fun one. Oh my God, really fun. We actually already recorded the episode, so I can tell you for sure that it was really fun. We had a great conversation. But anyway, so tune in next week for that one. And, why not give us a 5-star review and say 5 stars? Wait. Okay. To Spooky Tuesday, thank you for everything. Julie Newmar. I don't know. So you gotta keep saying Julie Newmar. You can say a different name. No, thanks for everything, Matthew Lillard. There we go. To Spooky Tuesday, thanks for everything, Matthew Lillard.
I'll find a pinup shot of him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Just
he's so statuesque.
His head on top of that Julie Newmar.
He's so statuesque.
He is statuesque.
These are two. We've come up with $2 million social media ideas this week. We're really pulling our weight for the first time in a while. Cindy and I are really doing
write this down.
There's something happening here. So anyway, 5-star review, 5-star rating on Spotify. We'll take either. And also, I forgot what we're doing. Follow us on social media to see those posts. My God, at Spooky_Tuesday on everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we're at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Go to our website, spookytuesdaypod.com. One-stop shop for everything we've ever done. My God, we're getting close to fucking 300 episodes, bro. That's coming up in like 2 months. By the end of the summer, we'll be there. This is episode 290, I think. No. Yeah. Whoa. That's crazy. Anyway, so get in there and look at the backlog of stuff. We did Donnie Darko. We just said that. That's our 4th episode ever. Think about it. And then also we are on Patreon. I already said that. Patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday. Wow, look, exercise your right to vote. You could do it every quarter. Join. And then we are on YouTube. And today we're just red and wild. Have you noticed that about us? That we're
it's kind of
people say that about us actually all the time.
That we're red and also very wild. I would wear
crazy.
this boa every day, and I feel really beautiful right now. So thank you, Julie Newmar, for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. And yeah, Trans Pride lives on forever. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.